Hello guys, welcome back to Malik Joe 34 channel. This is Malik Arjun. Okay, I am with here today with one more exciting topic on the conflict analysis. Whenever we work on production database or test or development or UAT, whatever database it is, and application team will most often come with a lot of issues and a lot of bugs, and then we will work with Oracle, and then we will get some patches and some security patches or some bug fixes, and then we'll get some patch. So we need to apply those patches on top of our existing environment, either 11G or 12C or 18C or 19C. So how to make sure that whatever the one-off patch or whatever the security patch we are trying to apply is whether conflicting with the our current environment or current bug fixes, or if it is conflicting, how to check it out, and then how to resolve those conflict check, and then if it is a conflicting, and then how to request for the merge patch. So everything we will see it in this today's topic, because this is one of the most widely confusing topics for most of the DBS, because the most and first and preliminary check is to do a proper conflict check for any particular patch, because if you don't do your conflict check prior to the patching, and then during the patching window when you have a production downtime, and then that time if you have a conflict while applying the patch, if you get the conflict, then you may lose your scheduled change request, you may lose your scheduled patching window, and then you have to postpone your patching activity. How to do that basic conflict check using a MOS, or also I will using manual method, and also automated method. Everything I'm going to show it in this live demonstration in a minute, right? So in this particular session I'm going to explain about the patch sets and patch set updates, PSU, and bundle patches, and critical patch update, CPUs, and interim patches, and merge patches, and one-off patches. Everything I'm going to cover in this today's session. It is going to be very exciting, guys. So before I get started with the today's session, if you are new to my channel, always go back to YouTube and search for Malik034, and then please do subscribe. If you like my videos, always share, like, and comment. And if you missed out any of my previous videos, all videos will be available in my YouTube channel. You can always refer at any time. Okay, let's start with the today's session, and agenda is going to be patches and the conflict checks, and the manual way of identifying the conflicts, and how to identify the conflicts and resolution using the MOS conflict checker. So everything I'm going to show all this with live demonstration, and along with that I'm going to explain about the patch set like 11G, 12C, or 18C, or 19C, or patch set update, PSU, or critical patch set update, CPUs, or bundle patch, interim patch, and one-off patches, right? So you will, after this session, you will I'm sure about you will get a clear understanding all of these patches, what this mean by, right? So I'm going to clarify all those doubts. So patch is basically it's a fix for a given bug. If you have any particular bug in your environment, and if you apply the patch, and then that bug will be get rid off. So basically patch is a fix of a fix for a given bug. And patches are available in the different format, like basically patch set updates and patch sets. The patch set updates are like, we can usually call it as a PSU, patch set update. Oracle will release this in Jan. I can say Oracle will release this in Jan, April, July, and October. 4 quarters in a year they will release it: Jan, April, July, and October. So in traditional RDBMS we call it as a PSU, but in Exadata they will call it as a bundle patch. So all set of patches together, they will basically bundle together. They will call it as a bundle patch. Don't get confused with the bundle patch. It is nothing but our PSU in normal traditional RDBMS. So if you can see RDBMS PSU or GIPSU, if you apply the PSU on the RDBMS home, it's going to be RDBMS PSU. If you apply the PSU on the your grid infrastructure home, that is going to be GIPSU. And bundle patches are nothing but, in Exadata they will call it as a bundle patches. That is nothing but a GI patch or RDBMS patch. So that set of patches together bundled in a single patch. That is a bundle patch they will call. And OJMPSU is the Java. If your database has a Java component, we will apply the OJMPSU at the RDBMS binaries. OJMPSU will not apply on the GI homes. We will apply only on the RDBMS homes. And make sure that OJMPSU only applicable if you are using a Java component in your database. And interim patches are one-off patches. You can call it as an interim patch or one-off patch. Interim patch are nothing but, if you bundle 2 or 3 patch together, and they will call it as a merge patch, right? So interim patch is just a small patch. If you have any of the single bug in your environment, and there's a small patch Oracle will release, and those patch will fixes 1 or 2 single either you can say security bugs or normal bug, that those are like one-off patch or the interim patches. So especially when you're talking with Exadata, if you go with this 888828.1, this is a master document. It has all the patches for all the patches for Exadata only. So if you go with the traditional RDBMS, I'm going to show all those RDBMS links in a minute. If you can search it for, there's a master document for RDBMS homes also for 11G, 12C, and 18C and 19C. Okay, so I'll go with further the patch, right? As I said, the security patch update, PSU, earlier known as a CPU, like critical patch update. They used to call it as a critical patch update earlier, and now we only call it as a SPU, security patch update. Oracle strongly recommend to go with the SPUs. And composite patches, online patches, one-off patch or interim patch. The composite patches, composite patches are nothing but, it contains of multiple patches bundled together in a single patch. If you unzip that particular patch, you can go inside the directory, you will see n number of patches inside that. That is the composite patch. It's basically merging 2 or 3 patches together and making a single patch. That's a composite patch. And online patches are like, we can call it as a hot patch. You can apply when your database is up and running. You no need of any downtime, whether it is a single instance or rack instance, whatever it is, whether standalone or Oracle restart or single instance or rack instance, you can apply it online mode. That is online patch, or you can call it as a hot patch. One-off patch or interim patch, we can call it as a overlay patch or merge patch. Again, these are the small patches. So it contains 1 or 2 bugs, and you can apply it on your RDBMS homes or grid homes. So it's small patches or small security fixes. Okay, so which tool you are going to use? There's only one and only tool, that is a OPatch. You can use this OPatch tool to apply your grid PSU or RDBMS PSU or one-off patch or interim patch or merge, whatever the patch. The tool is OPatch. OPatch is used for your conflict checks. OPatch is used for applying the patch, and OPatch is used for listing your LS inventory. So OPatch is the one and only tool for for all your patching activities. It's a Oracle supplied tools to apply or rollback Oracle patches. The functionality is applying an interim patch, rolling back an interim patch, detecting for the conflicts, and suggesting the best option to resolve the conflict, and reporting on installed products and interim patches. These are the particular patch number 6880880. This is a patch. You can see with this patch, you can see the OPatch for 11G, OPatch for 12C, and OPatch for 18C and 19C, the same patch number. So one of the best practices, always use the latest OPatch to apply any patch, right? And things to remember here is, OPatch is used for applying your patch and rolling back your patch, and detecting your conflict check, and and then listing out your patches. So OPatch is one and only tool, that's Oracle supplied tool, can be used for all your patching activities. Okay, And phases of patch installation phases, I basically divide it as these six phases. Prerequisites, that is nothing but conflict check. This is going to be one of the very critical part. So you have to thoroughly do your conflict check using the MOS tool, using the manual method of OPatch conflict checker and the automated method of conflict checker. Using all these three methods, you can do a conflict check analysis thoroughly, and if the conflict check analysis is passed, then only you can schedule your patching activity to apply the patch on your staging database or production database or dev database, right? And backup of all the libraries and all the files, all the, your Oracle homes, all the grid homes, all the Oracle binaries and grid binaries, you have to take a backup. And system update is nothing but you no need to worry for this one. Some of the patches to apply, so those needs your system should be this version. And the relinking, so the relinking is also one of the page. And inventory update, once the patch is updated, it will update the inventory, that is local inventory as well as central inventory, it will update. And verification phase, that's the final phase. So these are the 5 to 6 phases of your patch installation. And going further, okay, SPU and PSU. SPU is security patch update and PSU is patch set update. So if you check this particular 3 points here, what I mentioned, I'll just explain this about patch set update. If you apply the PSU patch set update, that can be applied on top of your base release or any of the earlier patch set update. See, for example, 10.2.04, it's a base release. On top of that, you can apply your PSU. Or if you see here, 10.2.04.1, it's my PSU. On top of that, you can apply one more PSU. So once you apply the PSU, the next PSU can be applied on the base release or on top of the PSU. If you consider security patch update can be applied only on the base release. If you have base release like 10.2.04.0, you can apply your security patch update or on top of your patch set update. So if you apply like 10.2.04.1, this is your PSU patch set update. On top of that, you can apply security patch update. So applying the security patch update on an installation with the patch set update installation not supported. From 12.1 onwards, Oracle ships only PSU. There is no SPU. So Oracle will strongly recommend us to go with the patch set update. So don't get confused with the PSU and the SPU, because don't worry about the SPU security patch update, because Oracle will always recommend to go with the PSU right now. As I said, the one of the main criteria for this course, like manual the conflict checking, right? So as I told, like you can check it using manual method or you can check it using your conflict analysis. So for the non-composite patch, you can see, right, this is a particular patch. I can say this patch, you unzip, you will get this particular patch directory, and you can use the OPatch prerequisites, and this is a keyword here, conflict against Oracle home with the details. You can use this keyword and hyphen patch base directory, and you can give that the patch wherever you unzipped, right? You can apply that patch. It will do the conflict check for this particular non-composite patch. For the composite patch, this is a patch, and if you unzip that patch and there's the directory, it will get create, and inside that you can see 1 2, there are n number of patches. What you can do, you have to do that same conflict check against each of these sub patches. OPatch prereq check conflict against Oracle home with details, and the patch directory you can give those all the patches, right? This is for the composite patches. And for the security patch update, you no need to worry, because we will not apply any more security patches. Oracle recommend to go with the patch set update PSU. So but again, it is going to be same method. OPatch prerequisite check conflict against Oracle home with details and the patch base directory, and then you can give that particular the patch directory wherever you unzipped. same like that is about conflict check I said. So but one of the best practices you have to do, one is system space check and conflict check. These are the two checks you have to do it for each and every phase. So the simple basic generic command, it's going to be variable home OPatch prerequisites check system space your patch base directory, and you have to give your patch location where you have unzipped and against your variable home. So you have to give your variable home. That is for systems space check. And similarly, check conflict against variable home with details. You can do the same thing. Variable home OPatch prerequisites check conflict against variable home with details, your patch base directory and your patch location where you have kept it, and -oh variable home, and you have to give your variable home. So I have one of the examples here. I already did it here. If you can see, user own patches bundle patch, and this is my patch I unzipped here. And inside that patch, if you see here, I have 1 2 3 4 patches. It's going to be like composite patch, right? So what I'm doing here, this is my 12c variable home, 12c grid home, OPatch prerequisites system space check, that is okay the patch phase base directory, and I'm going to give user own patches BP, and this is the main patch you can see here ending with 103, and then I'm going to do the system space check for all of these four patches. You can see 1 2 3 4 -oh variable home, and I'm going to give that particular grid home. So this is for my system space check. And if you can see one of the output how it looks, this is like system space check, and if you run this particular command, and it will give this output: grid home, central inventory, and from this local inventory, and this is the OPatch version, and this is the OUI version, and this is a log file, and invoking the prerequisites, that is system space check, and prereq system space check is passed, OPatch succeeded, right? So this is the way you have to do for all of the sub patches and for the main patches, right? So I have done it for all of those four patches. So all the system space check is successfully completed here. And then again the second thing is you have to do check conflict against variable home. Again you have to do it for all of those four sub patches. You can see here I made these four commands, and I'm running all four commands. If you see one of the output here, grid home OPatch prerequisites conflict check against variable home with details page directory, that is the patch directory, and you have to give all these four patches and variable home against that grid home. So again the prerequisite session started: variable home, central inventory, local inventory, OPatch version, OUI version, and log file, and invoking the prerequisites check conflict against variable home with details. So and the conflict check is passed, OPatch succeeded. So you have to get this conflict check is passed and OPatch succeeded. So you have to do all these four commands for this grid home, right? So it has successfully completed. Similarly you have to do it for whichever variable home you are doing it. I just showed you for the grid variable home. So grid home, grid binaries. So similarly if you are applying the patch and the variable RDBMS home, you have to do the same system space check and conflict check for your variable home. So this is a manual method, you can do it. And as you can see, this previous method I explained in a short details, like you have to go inside your patch directory and do the individual checks. If you are applying one or two patches, small patches, you can do like this. And if you are applying like bundle patch or PSU or CPUs or the composite patch or the merge patches, so you can use this particular commands as I showed here, like in this particular notepad, right? You can use these commands, and first you unzip that patch and check it out whether it's a composite patch or single patch or in one-off patch or interim patch. If you go to readme, you will get to know all these commands also will be in the readme. You can go through, and these are the basic checks you have to do it before your patching schedule date or patching window. And coming to the rolling or non-rolling, it's not only for the bundle patch. I can say PSU or SPU or whatever the patch. If you want to apply non-rolling and rolling, if you have 2 node rack or 4 node rack, so rolling means you have to patch node one by one, and if it's a non-rolling means you have to shut down your cluster on all the 4 nodes or all the 2 nodes. If your cluster is 2 node or 4 node, you have to shut down everything and you have to apply the patch all the 4 nodes simultaneously, patching all nodes at the same time. And I have made a command here for rolling 11G and 12C. What happened? 11G 11.204 grid CRS install root crs.pl unlock. You have to do unlock and you have to apply the patch. You can see here again, this is a patch, and inside I have 3 patches. So what I'm doing here, grid home OPatch n apply -oh Oracle home. This is my grid Oracle home -local. It means only on that particular single on the node 1 with the silent mode, and this is a response file, and this is a patch location. So this will apply this particular patch using this response file and in a silent mode, and in that local node it will apply on this particular grid home using n apply, and with the help of OPatch tool. This is the command syntax or command meaning. Similarly, I am applying all these 3 patches for the grid home, and once the grid home patching is done, I am going to do root crs -patch. This unlock and this patch is going to be very important when you are applying in 11G grid home in a rolling fashion, and whereas in 12C or 18C or 19C it's going to be pre-patch and post-patch. In 11G it was unlock and the patch, and if you're coming with the 12C or 19C or 18C, it's going to be pre-patch and post-patch. That's the difference between the 11G and 12C. What I'm going to do in 12C, user-on-app 12C grid crs install root crs.pl -prepatch, and then I'm going to use the same command like grid home OPatch n apply Oracle home and -local means it will apply only on that local node, it will not apply on the remote nodes. -silent, it will take all the there's no interaction, it will take a default options and it will proceed further using this response file, and this is the particular patch I am applying. Like that I am applying all these 4 patches. Once the patching is done, you have to do this post patch. So when you do this pre-patch, your grid home will be unlocked and it has to set your proper permissions, right? And then once you patch it and once you do this post patch, your grid home become rolling patch mode, so that your cluster will start and you will be able to apply the patch on the other node. So that is about the rolling 11G and 12C or 18C, whatever the patching it is. And if you are going with the non-rolling method, again the commands are same: root crs.pl unlock and patch. Unlock and patch. 11G it is going to be same. It's unlock and the patch. Whereas if you're dealing with the 12C or 18C or 19C, the command is going to be a pre-patch -non-rolling. Right? If you can see here, you're going to shut it down. Root crs.pl -prepatch. Earlier it was just a pre-patch. Default it will take it as a rolling, and if it is a non-rolling, you have to give the keywords -non-rolling, and then you have to apply the patch, and then at the end you have to do this post patch -non-rolling. This is applicable for 11 this 12C, 18C or 19C, whatever the latest release. The same command -prepatch -post patch. Right, so I'm just showing it for the grid home. Once your grid home is patched, immediately you can patch your RDBMS homes, and then once the RDBMS home is done on that node, you can do post patch. right? So you can do a grid home and DB home simultaneously, or you can do complete grid home patching, and later you can only bring down that particular Oracle home and apply the patch. Anyway, you can follow this, right? So this is the like rolling and non-rolling two methods. You can apply your bundle patch or PSU or interim or one-off, whatever patch you can call it is, you can apply in this method. And just wanted to give you quick idea about the patch sets, the 12c patch set, and this is a patch number, and it contains around 7 files, I can say. Your DB home, your grid binaries, your Oracle client, and Oracle deinstall tools, and Oracle all those like 7 to 8 patches. And quickly I can show you this 12c patch, and then you will understand. It is a set of patches. Whenever you are going to install new 12c home or new 11g home, you can go to this particular patch. It will say all those list of patches. I'll just show this particular patch. So I'm going to list out. I just listed 11g and 12c. I'm going to list out 18c and 19c, all of this in this particular document, and I'm going to share with you guys. So yeah, just see 12c I searched here, and it is of 9 GB here. So if I go to this particular patch, and then if I go with the download option, and you'll get all those 6 patches. Okay, it has 10 patches, you can see here. And if you can just go with the readme, and then you'll get to know what patches is used for which, like DB home or grid home or client, or deinstall all the tools, and I'll quickly show that one. Okay, see here, patch number 1 of 10 or 2 of 10, like 2 patch, right? As I said, like download, if you go, it has a 10 patches. That is why bundle of 9 patches, right? 10 patches, all of these patches you can download. And if you can see, like 1 of 10, 2 of 10, these two together, it made my Oracle database. And if you can see 3 of 10 and 4 of 10, these two together, it become my Oracle database SE2. That includes Oracle database SE2, Oracle RAC, and deinstall. And this is my Oracle database. That includes Oracle database, Oracle RAC, and deinstall. That is like, this is you have to use these two patch together. And then if you see these two patches, like 5 of 10 and 6 of 10, that is for my grid infrastructure. If you are installing your 12c grid, you can download these two patches. And this is for my 7 of 10 is for Oracle client, and this is for gateway, and this is for example, and this is for Oracle GSM. Similarly, you can search it for 11g and 12c also. If I can go back, and I can show you for this 11g also. Edit, search for this, and this is of again 5 GB. I list out for 18c and 19c, and you can have that list handy. So again, if I go with the download, this 11g, anyway 11g is the end of support, so nobody is going to use this 11g. Again, if you can see, it has 7 patches: 1 of 7, 2 of 7, 3 of 7, 4 of 7, 5 of 7, 6 of 7, 8 of 7, all of this. And if you go to readme, and you will get to know which patch is for which. If you can see here, this 1 of 7 and 2 of 7. Okay, so not 1 of 7, this one, right? 1 of 7 and 2 of 7, those two includes my Oracle database, right? 1 of 7 and 2 of 7. And this 3 of 7, 3 of 7 is for grid infrastructure, and this 4 of 7 is for Oracle client, and 5 of 7 is for Oracle gateway, and this 6 of 7 is for example, and 7 of 7 is for my deinstallation. So anything you can download, whichever need, grid infrastructure or database installation, you can go ahead with that. So that's about the patch set. Patch sets are nothing but composite, like all bundled together in a single patch. And Okay, this is the repeated. This is the list of bug. So if you go with this particular doc, I do have this 11G, 12C, 18C, 19C. So I'm going to share. I'm going to list out all those, and I will share it with you. So what this particular bug fix MOS document says, whatever the bugs, that 11.204, I'm showing it for 11.204. Whatever the patch they will release, whatever the bugs so far, all the bugs will be included in that. So I'll just quickly show you a couple of that. So October 2016 quarterly database patch release for Exadata, and these are the patches and these are the bugs. And if you can go July 2016 quarterly patch set update, and these are the patches and these are the bugs. Similarly, April 2016, these are the patches and these are the bugs. So similarly, I have listed out, but I don't see it in this presentation. I'm going to list out everything, and I'll probably share it in the next session. So or else I can comment it out in my the YouTube channel with this particular video link. You can refer those all the MOS documents, right? So this is regarding the patch sets and the bugs on those particular versions. And the patch sets, upgrade documents, 11G upgrade documents. This is a particular MOS document you can refer, and 12C upgrade document, this is a particular MOS document you can refer. It has all the steps you can refer. Or again, this is also not contain complete list for 18C or 19C. So I'm going to list out, I'm going to update all those documents. So just quickly wanted to show you this one, how this particular MOS document looks. If this is a correct document, then okay, so I'll just quickly search it for here, this particular MOS note ending with 467.1, 467.1, right? So let me search this one. Okay, so this particularly talks about Exadata database machines. I do have a list of documents with non-Exadata upgradations also. I'm going to share that most documents all together. So it basically contains everything. This particular document talks about if your database is 11.2 or 11.2.3, 11.2.4 or 11.102, if you want to upgrade it to 12.102, and what are the checks and what are the prerequisites you have to carry out. So all the steps it has here, and what are the patches needed, and everything it contains here. So you can refer this particular MOS document. Similarly, I'm going to share it for all this 18C, 19C, and with rack and without rack, and for Exadata and non-Exadata, everything I'm going to list out, and I'm going to update in my YouTube comment section. You can refer it. So this is the demonstration I wanted to show you it here for this conflict check and patch apply. But I will take this demonstration applying and showing this conflict checks in my next session, because I have not set up my environment yet. So I will show it in the next demonstration. But my basic idea is to show you MOS conflict checker. So what exactly is MOS conflict checker will do? As you can see, this particular conflict check, if you want to do it, you have to download the patch and you have to place it in your server, right? So if you see here, if you want to do the system space check, you have to download the patch and you have to place it in your server and then do the conflict check. Without downloading the patch, how you can do? So it's a MOS is an integrated tool, right? Identify for the conflict resolutions with the existing LS inventory. So identify the and then you have to upload your LS inventory into your Oracle MOS, and you have to search for the conflict. There's other tool, ARU tool. We can check for the conflict check. So this is internal to, I think, Oracle. So outside public cannot access this ARU. We have only option to check with the MOS. So what I'll do, I will quickly go to patches and update. Okay, here patches and update, and this is the particular patch, right? So I'm going to search for this patch, or I'll do what I'll do, I have 11.204 LS inventory. I have kept it here, and then I have one of the patch. Okay, conflict analysis, I manually done it for one of the patch here. So this is one of the patch I wanted to apply, so I will check it for this particular patch. So if you see here, what I did, I will go with 11G or 12C. Okay, I will go with 11G. So this is the patch I wanted to apply, and then I downloaded the patch on my local server. I did conflict check against this particular ONEOFF patch, if you see here, and I got the successful message. And again, if I did the system space check, and that also I got a successful message. Similarly, if I do it using the I this particular check manual method needs, you need to download the patch manually and stage it in your server. And I don't want to stage it, I want to roughly check whether it is a conflicting or not. And one of the method is the MOS. You have to go and search for that particular patch, which patch you're going to apply, and you will get the patch number. And okay, assuming that this is the patch, so I'm going to click on that. You will get for 11G I'm going to check it out. 12C I'm not considering, and this 11.203 also I'm not considering. I'm going to apply check it for only this 11G. So 11.204 I'm going to go to that, but you have to find out first which patch you're going to apply, and then click on that particular patch, and it will open that particular patch, and go with your analyze with the OPatch. This is very important. You have to click on that analyze with the OPatch, and you have to attach your ls inventory. Attach your ls inventory and browse your ls inventory. Oh, sorry. So you have to choose your ls inventory, and you have to select that 11.204 ls inventory and then attach that file. It will take bit of time, because it has to read all your ls inventory and do the conflict check. Okay, so you can see here, right, your ls inventory is attached here, and once the ls inventory attached, and this is the patch you are checking for the conflict, and you have to click on this analyze for the conflict. So as I said, it will take a few minutes. Okay, you can see here, right, no conflict found. And if there's any conflict found, it will tell which patch is conflicting. For this particular patch, it is no conflict found, and you can go ahead and apply this particular patch on your Oracle home. So this is the particular MOS conflict checker. You have to do it without downloading your patch, and once you get the no conflict, or whether it's a conflict, if any message you get it, and this is the quickest way you can do it, and based upon that you can take it further, and you can do this manual method of conflict check what I showed here, right? This particular system space check or conflict check, this particular manual method, by downloading the patch and staging in the server and checking for that. So you have to make use of this MOS conflict checker if you're planning for any particular patching. Right, that is about the demonstration what I wanted to show you for this particular MOS conflict. So this is about the demonstration I just showed you, and then I hope that's it for the today. So the one of the conflict check, this particular manual method of conflict check, so I just showed you the log, but I have not this log is more than enough, I believe. So in my next lab, quickly before start with the next session, I will show you this conflict check. But looking at these logs, it's a clear understanding that how you can do it actually. So I'll come up with the next session on this, particularly on the patching, and then the best practices in my next videos. Thank you guys.